Hello and welcome to Midweek Matters. In Midweek Matters this week, let's turn our attention to the renaming of Sardar Patel Cricket Stadium in Motera, Ahmedabad. It came as a surprise to me, like it did to many in the country. No one knew that the largest cricket stadium in the world after refurbishment is going to be named after our Prime Minister Narendra Modi. It was announced at a function in the presence of the President of our Republic and the Union Home Minister Amit Shah, with the Secretary of the BCCI Jay Shah in tow. It was a closely guarded secret. No one had a clue until it was openly pronounced at the appointed time. The BJP's appropriation of Sardar Patel was nearly complete until the day of this coup by Shah and others. They chose to replace the Sardar's name with Narendra Modi's name. Predictably, the Congress attacked the decision. Rahul Gandhi tweeted, "Beautiful how truth reveals itself. Narendra Modi Stadium, Adani End, Reliance End, with Jay Shah presiding." He added the hashtag, "Hum do, Hamare do." To Rajiv Satav of Congress, this showed how narcissistic our Prime Minister has become. To him, it was outrageous and a clear sign of autocratic dictatorship. Shiv Sena's Samna fired a broadside at the BJP. Its editorial was stinging. To Shiv Sena, this act showed that Patel's importance in today's politics has ended. The editorial accused the BJP and the Prime Minister of obliterating Sardar Patel's name from history. It said if Modi's followers thought that he was greater than Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Nehru, Sardar Patel, and Indira Gandhi, it should be considered the next level in blind faith. BJP union ministers did their best to defend. They tweeted to explain that the sports enclave will retain Patel's name and it's just the stadium that will now sport our PM's name. Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju, I&B Minister Prakash Javadekar spoke as though it wasn't after all a big deal. Gujarat ministers joined the chorus. Then came the inevitable whataboutery from BJP followers in response to Congress criticism. Look who is talking. Do they even have the moral right to talk? Javadekar tweeted, "Ironically, the family which never respected Sardar Patel even after his death is now making hue and cry. How many things are named after people from their khandan?" Social media was flooded with lists, tables with details of colleges, universities, government schemes, roads, bridges, institutions, awards that were named after one Nehru Gandhi or the other. You have not gone to the Statue of Unity and paid your tributes to the Sardar, and now you talk about his honor. What right have you? Critics should have known that you need to do the right things to earn your right to utter one critical comment about what the BJP does, or even what it does not do. Actually, it's quite unusual that anything in the country is named after a living incumbent Prime Minister. It was not done in the past, as far as I know. Even if I missed some unlikely instance, let me say without any hesitation that it is indeed inappropriate, in bad taste, whoever had done it or whoever had let that be done. Would some wrong done by someone in the past make your wrong right? If the so-called Namdars naming things after themselves, would that condone the present day Kamdars naming things after themselves? Should we buy that logic? It is hard to believe that the BJP top leadership in the center, in the state of Gujarat, and Amit Shah himself did not have a clue how inappropriate it would be to remove Sardar Patel's name. Even if they wanted to rename it after Mahatma Gandhi, one can build something new, name it after anyone they liked, but remove an existing name. Usually, existing names are removed to erase colonial legacy. Thus, King George Hospital could become Kasturba Gandhi Hospital, Wellington Hospital, Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital. Imperial Bank of India could become State Bank of India. There are many examples. One has to just look around. Although inappropriate, one could still try and make some political sense if Nehru Stadium is renamed after Patel, or Indira Polytechnic is now decided to be called Deen Dayal Polytechnic. But removing Sardar Patel's name and calling it Narendra Modi Stadium is bizarre. It should trouble even an ardent BJP and Modi devotee. I've been thinking since the news broke, did Prime Minister Modi want it this way? It's hard to believe. I'm not willing to believe that he is disrespectful of the Sardar and is not capable of sensing that this action would mean sacrilege, even if he did not intend it. He is not naive. I refuse to believe that he sanctioned it or even consented to it. If he has really not sanctioned it, I'm sure he would ensure that it's resented. Sooner than later, my gut feeling is that he would. Just like he dumped the 10 lakh rupees monogrammed suit that he wore to his meeting with his friend Barack in 2015. He is quick to correct and get past the embarrassment. He has the political capital. He can afford to do the corrections. He can indeed break journey on this ego trip of his or of his followers. But what if he really wanted it, sanctioned it, or consented to it? That's real tragedy. The question on my mind is, does the undisputed leader of the BJP, the darling of Gujarat, and a leader of India with no credible challenger on the horizon need this kind of a shot at immortalizing himself? Is he not secure enough in his mind that his name would last and his successors would surely make his name live in the memory of the people? Those who are around him, are they by any chance insecure about his perch in the annals of the country? Is it that nobody in their earshot could summon enough courage to tell them how inappropriate and bizarre it could be? This is baffling and a real cause for concern. It emboldens others. That's my fear. Incumbent chief ministers have since long started naming schemes after themselves. You had Amma this and Amma that in Tamil Nadu. We had many Chandranna schemes in Andhra Pradesh. We have KCR schemes in Telangana and several Jagananna schemes in Andhra Pradesh. Now, I'm worried about Lal Bahadur Stadium in Hyderabad, about Ravindra Bharati, even about Prakasham district in Andhra Pradesh. I pray no one gets ideas after seeing what happened in Motera. You know, I went to Astana, the capital of Kazakhstan, in 2016. It's now vanished. It's now called Nur Sultan City, named after the country's strong man and long-time president, Nur Sultan Nazarbayev. He is still alive and is the de facto ruler of the country, holding the all-powerful position of chairman of the country's National Security Council. Sure, that's an extreme case. But things begin small, like they began in Motera, and then they grow big. Let's not tread that path, for God's sake. All our leaders, and more so our present Prime Minister, have many things that will ensure a secure place for them in the history of our land. Let them be secure, confident, and more importantly, graceful. If their work survives them, their names survive their departure from office and ultimately their exit from this world. They will live forever in the minds and hearts of the people, but not by naming or renaming structures after them. Sardar Patel lives on in our hearts and in the history of our land, notwithstanding the replacement of his name to a stadium with the name of his avowed rehabilitator, who emerges small and diminished from this bizarre episode. No, definitely not Sardar Patel. That's all we have time for this week. Thanks for joining. See you next week, Wednesday at 1 p.m. for a fresh episode of Midweek Matters. Until then, stay safe and take good care of yourselves. See you.